It's Pro Wrestling Summit. You already know what it is. Happy Sunday morning to everybody. All you wrestling fans, all you people waking up early. Happy Sunday. Unfortunately, Knowledge was not able to join us today, but I am here. It is me, Tatum. Let's get this out of the way. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Reach out to us on the Instagram at good_villain_media. Make sure that you do so. This is WWE Weekly for Pro Wrestling Summit. Today we're going to be getting into a couple of different topics, 3 different topics. The KO story, the IC title for Mania, and the release of WWE 2K23 that has hit everybody as of the 17th. Crazy. St. Patrick's Day. It drops officially on St. Patrick's Day. Pre-orders, it was Tuesday, which was the 14th. I'm sure that people have been playing it. The graphics look insane. Absolutely insane. So, pretty cool shit. But anyway, let's get right into the KO story. Listen, there's a lot of meat on this bone. There is a lot of meat on this bone. You do not have to rush to do this, to tell this story. The only thing that you need to do is to get them on the same page before WrestleMania to have them have this tag match. That's the only thing that you have to do with this story before you move on to other things. Before you have to tell the rest of the story. And there is nothing wrong with that, man. There is nothing wrong with that. I would rather have meat on the bone that you can nibble away at little by little than you rushing it and force feeding it to me. Because the story is too fucking good. It's just too good. There's so much stuff. So much stuff that you can tell. There's so many options and definitely more. There probably more options than you're gonna have with Sammy and Cody. I mean, Sammy is good at telling these stories, man. So, and KO is clearly good at telling these stories, so let them fucking tell the story. You gotta let them tell the story. I don't think that KO and Sammy should be on the same page. I think a tag team that's not on the same page is perfect right now. And I think Sammy eventually tries to win back his trust, and eventually they reconcile completely. And there will be a giant pop for it. The t-shirts will fucking sell like crazy, and you can have them be the tag team champions for quite a long time. I mean, same problem with AEW. There's not a lot of credible fucking tag teams. Or there are credible tag teams, they're just not used properly. I think Imperium's a fucking really good team. Not used properly. Legado, not used properly. Alpha Academy was not used properly. I mean, it's just a pattern. It's a pattern. But I think that KO story is worth being nibbled on. Because the promos and all the hype and storyline leading up to it, that's what the fans want. Proof positive by the bloodline. It's proof positive. The fans are so fucking into that storyline. Just like they were into Bray Wyatt initially. That has certainly waned. But we'll talk about that in the clips later on today. Dropping at noon. So make sure that you tune in for that. Because I'm going to fucking go off. But, a lot of meat on this KO story, man. They have a lot of fucking different directions that they can go with it post-WrestleMania. They just need to get them together before WrestleMania to make this fucking tag match. KO saying he didn't want help and taking the beating, that was good, man. That was good shit. And there's a lot to that. There are a lot of things. A lot of things with that. And I think that they're already starting to tell the story. And I love it. I love it. But there's so much. Please, WWE, don't rush. Don't rush. Slow burn this story. You just got to get them together before WrestleMania. That's all that you got to do. You just got to get them to get together before Mania. Quick, easy, painless. Not a problem. Super easy to get there, and then you start to tell their story. It's good. It's gonna be good shit, man. It's gonna be good shit. I know most fans would be into it. They love Sammy. You can't have Sammy wrestle Cody if Cody wins the belt. You just can't do it. This storyline with KO is the next storyline because I'm sure Roman is going to go away if he loses the belt. He's going to split for a little while. Rightfully so. But please, for the love of God, please, Triple H, who's ever writing that storyline, don't rush it. Don't rush it. Give it to us in little increments. Tell the story. Let us get invested in that story next. Because once the bloodline story is over, we're going to need something else. There's got to be some sort of story that follows up with that. Because if not, you're going to fucking lose people. You're going to lose fans. Your viewership's going to go down. There's got to be a story that people can be invested in to keep your programming where, on the upward trend. Have to do it. You just have. It's not a choice. It's a matter of necessity at this point. You've already given the fans this bloodline story, so that's what they want now. They've given you clear indication that that is the direction that they want the WWE to go in. And again, I like that. Give us a story. Sell us on the story. That's your job. That's your job, is to sell us on the story. But next, let's get into the IC title for Mania, because what a fucking schmaz this has turned out to be. How are you going to have a 5-way match, double simultaneous pins, so now both these guys are going to wrestle on SmackDown, I guess, for a chance, which I'm sure is going to end in another fuck finish. Some sort of count out or something. They're going to get jumped by Imperium in the ring. Something's going to happen. And it's going to end up being a 3-way match at Mania. I don't have an issue with the 3-way match at Mania at all. I just think that there are other people that could probably benefit from that spot a little bit more than Drew and Sheamus, who are already previous top guys. And Gunther, I think, should have a new challenger going into Mania. I don't necessarily think that Drew and Sheamus is the right call. I would do Drew and Sheamus against each other, if anything, because you know that that's guaranteed to be a fire match, and Gunther could work with a litany of fucking other people. There's just so many guys that he could fucking work with. I mean, why not give that spot to like a guy like on the come up? That's my whole questioning. Like, why wouldn't you give that Intercontinental title match to a guy on the come up? Gunther is clearly gonna be a top guy. So you would want to start to prep a guy who's on the come up. Make it interesting. Make it interesting for the fans. Have Gunther go out there and say, I'll fucking wrestle anybody. I don't care. I'm the ring general. I will go out there and fucking wrestle anybody. I mean, it would be a cool spot for, a returning guy or, somebody who was on injury. Maybe an NXT guy looking to come up to the main roster after Mania, a Braun Breaker, somebody that's gonna be, that can get in there and be rugged, because it's gonna be fucking rugged. And I'm not saying that fucking Drew and Sheamus don't deserve that spot. It's just they've already been at the top. The Intercontinental title has been generally for the next guy up. Gunther is clearly the next guy up. Maybe LA Knight? A lot of people are fucking high on LA Knight. If they didn't fucking bury Ricochet into the ground and put him in the stupid tag team with Braun Strowman, I mean, they have fucking really good matches against each other. And Ricochet could be a top guy. So I would think that you would want to fucking put him in the ring against fucking somebody who's like on the come up. Not somebody who's already been at the top and is, and is on their way back down. And again, not saying that Drew and Sheamus can't fucking be top guys, because they clearly can be. But they're not in that spot right now. There's a way to bolster your tag division. Have them team up again. Brawling Brutes, it's over, but I mean, for how much longer? For how much longer is it? I mean, they're already saying that Pete Dunne is going to change his name to Pete Dunne. He's going to get rid of the Butch shit, and he's going to change his name back to Pete Dunne. And I mean, he shouldn't have fucking changed his name in the first place. I mean, those are two credible guys that you can put in the ring with anybody, and they're going to fucking present a good match, a good, rugged, stiff match. The Viking Raiders. I like the Viking Raiders a lot. I wish that they would be fucking used properly. It's just, it comes down to booking. It just comes down to booking decisions. And how do you book WrestleMania? How do you book, where do you put the IC title? I mean, if you're going to do Sheamus, McIntyre, Gunther, that is a semi-main event. I mean, what? Reports are right now that fucking the Usos and KO and Sami are going to main event night 1. So that means Roman's going to main event night 2, which we all knew was going to happen. Roman Cody, which is it's how it should be. But the tag team title match is going to be put in that spot. Well, what about Charlotte? I mean, what about fucking the IC title? Those three guys are gonna go and if it was me, I would open the show on night 1 with the tag team titles. I'd put Rhea and Charlotte in the main event spot at night 1, and I would put the IC title to open night 2. That's exactly what I would do. If it's going to be that 3-way match, it is, you either got to put that on in the co-main event or you got to put that on first, because that shit is going to be banging. They're going to go full tilt, blasting each other with shots. Like, it is going to be rugged. So you either have to put that in a later spot, or you have to put that in the first match of day 2. I don't think that you can put that match on day 1 at all. I just don't. If it's me, I'm putting that in the co-main event of night 2. And I'm saying to Roman and Cody, follow that shit. That's exactly what I would do. Because now you're creating competition. You know that Drew, Sheamus, and fucking Gunther are going to go out there and fucking tear it down. So you either got to let them tear it down at the very beginning of the card, or you got to fucking put them right before Cody and Roman. And if you want to put over the Intercontinental title as the second biggest championship, then that's what you got to do. And I would do both the women's matches in the main event, co-main event of night one. Open up the show of night one with the tag title match, finish with the two women's matches. Co-main events for night one, perfect spot, good shit. Finish the night with Rhea and Charlotte. It's the right thing to do. Open up the next night with Jay and Jimmy against KO and Sammy. Close the show with Sheamus, Drew, and Gunther, and Cody and Roman. That's exactly how I would book that. And I don't know, what do you do after that? You're not taking the title off of Gunther. There's no fucking way they're doing that. That wouldn't make a fucking lick of sense. Because neither one of Sheamus nor McIntyre need that belt. I mean, Gunther doesn't need it either, but it's a nice prop for him to have before he gets the run at the big title. And he should. He's the guy. I think LA Knight would be a great Intercontinental Champion. You know, I think LA Knight is going to be the next guy. If Logan Paul worked a regular schedule with WWE, I would say Logan Paul, with the right amount of time in the ring, would be the next guy. They would eventually put the title on him. Just from a business standpoint, I mean, he athletically can do it all. He can do it. It's just about learning the business and learning how to get the most. I mean, he has viral moments. Like, he knows exactly what to do to maximize his opportunity and the potential of eyes on it because of his name value. So I get why they're using him. And I take nothing away from the guy. He is tremendous in the ring. He does things that somebody shouldn't be able to do after 3 matches. It just, I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. He's fucking super talented. So I think that if he worked a more regular schedule with WWE, he would be the guy that they'd strap the rocket to eventually. Probably in like a year or 2. But I don't think that he's ever going to commit full-time to WWE. And I don't blame him. Why would you? Why would you? You have so many other things going on. You're a multi-billionaire. Millionaire. Sorry, not Billy. He's not in the Billy Club, I don't think. He's probably pretty close at this point. But, I mean, what do you do? I mean, what do you do with a guy like that? I mean, somebody who's so fucking overtly talented. I mean, you have to, he would be a guy to put the IC title on. If he worked a regular schedule. I mean, listen, LA Knight is over. He is fucking super over with the fans. And that should tell you all that you need to know. When he got when they popped for him at MSG, they said they knew. And that is the litmus test right there. If New York pops for you, is a good fucking sign that they're going to strap the rocket to you at some point. And, a very credible guy. Looks the part, looks like an athlete, that talks great shit. I mean, just great shit. So how do you not take a chance on a guy like that? Same thing as Logan Paul. Like, how do you not take a chance to put a fucking belt on that guy? Just to have him walk around with it everywhere and do fucking videos with it and fucking podcasts and interviews. He walks around with the belt. You know how much free exposure that is for you? For your brand? For your company? People who never watched wrestling now watch wrestling. Because, that YouTuber that I watch, Logan Paul, is in the WWE, so I watch wrestling now. Same thing with Bad Bunny. Why wouldn't you fucking strap a rocket to that guy's back? But again, they're celebrities. So they're not going to commit full-time 110%. They're just not. They have too many other business ventures. But that's why I don't understand. Like, why put Drew and Sheamus in that IC title spot? It just doesn't make sense. LA Knight would be a good fit for that spot. You know, a guy who's going to be the next one up. And I'm not saying that he's got to beat Gunther. I'm not suggesting that at all. But what I am saying is, you know, guys who are on the way up, not on the way back. My opinion, of course. Let's get into the last story that we have today. The WWE 2K23 officially released on Friday, the 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all you people. And, you know, I mean, what the fuck? People are going crazy. I mean, the graphics look fucking insane. The War Game's a nice little touch, I think. I mean, you know, maybe some people have fucking played it, could fill me in on the, you know, on the ins and outs, like what's different, what's changed. Like, you know, I'm really not sure. But from what I'm seeing, it looks pretty crazy. The community creations look crazy. Like, man, they put like a lot of time into creating this game, apparently. Like, people are just absolutely raving about it. And I think that that's a great way to, you know, to draw in other people, to draw in other fans. I think from a marketing standpoint, video games is like where it's at. I mean, just look at what Madden does. Or NBA 2K. You know, I mean, they do a great business with their games. So it's just another added revenue stream for WWE. A multi-billion-dollar company who's gonna, you know, supposedly selling for like $8 million. $8 million. I'm sorry, 8 billion. Billion with a B. That's a crazy fucking amount of money. But you also have to think about what that type of video game revenue draws in every year. And I never really thought about it in that sense of like the business side of it, because I, you know, would play it as a, you know, as just a, you know, as a regular person. Like, I didn't look at it from a business standpoint. And then like you start looking at the numbers and you're like, holy shit. Like, these pre-orders are going for, you know, $100+ a pop, and you know, it's like not even a, you know, it's not even a thing for some of these people. And like, you got to think times that by however many games they sell at, you know, $100+ a pop. You know, and I know the video game, you know, the video game designers and the people who are producing the video game, which is 2K, they get a good chunk of that money. But I mean, WWE is still fucking capitalizing on the vast majority of that cash. And I mean, good on them for fucking doing it. If you're going to produce fucking games that look as good visually as they do right now, I mean, and they don't have, you know, I mean, according to what I've seen online, they don't really have too many bugs in this year's game. So, I mean, maybe it's something to fucking go pick up. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what the best avenue is for, you know, for that. You know, I honestly don't. The pre-order and like all that fucking crazy shit, like, people are nuts, man. Like, and they don't even, you know, this is back in the day when people still used to go to the store to get video game releases. Like, I don't even know who does that anymore. Everybody just gets digital download because it's easiest and most efficient. But I remember when video games used to drop and you used to have to go to the store like an hour early because people would be fucking waiting there like savages, you know what I mean? We'd all be fucking lined up like rats in a maze and fucking waiting for the fucking video games to come out. And I've been playing fucking wrestling games for a long ass time. Since Nintendo Pro Wrestling, okay? I've been playing wrestling games for a long fucking time. Visually, it is insane what they're able to do. The create a wrestler community creations that people have, it's fucking insane. It's insane. Like, I have tried to make, you know, remake wrestlers and shit like that. Not to any success of what these fucking people are able to do. It boggles my mind. I'm like, holy fucking shit. It looks exactly like that person. It looks exactly like the trunks, the tattoos, like everything is fucking spot on. And I go, God damn, how much time do you have to spend doing that shit to learn to be that efficient at it? It must take, I mean, I'm sure, because kids and technology nowadays, they can do shit now that I never fucking thought was possible. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would fucking see kids, programming and coding and doing all this shit. And like, it's just like common practice now. These kids know how to do this shit. And it's like, what the fuck kind of world are we living in? But it goes to show, like, the creativity of some of these people. They use the abilities that they have to be able to recreate wrestlers that they would not be able to have in this game or not in the game. It's actually really ingenious if you think about it. How they're able to manipulate the system to be able to do what they will with it. It's honestly fascinating. It's fucking fascinating. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I just find it fascinating. But the release of the game has come out with all these fucking videos and like, the DLC community creations and like all this shit. And it's like you see these videos and you just go, how the fuck do these people do that? How? And again, I've been playing wrestling games for a long time. A long fucking time. Never like that. Never was I ever able to recreate a character in that respect. It's crazy. It's absurd. It's absurd. And I appreciate it because it's art, man. Like, people can fucking say what you want. Oh, you're fucking manipulating a video game. Yeah, dude, that's fucking art. That's art. That shit's fucking wild. That shit's wild that people are able to fucking do that. And the best community creation that I've seen so far is the MJF render. Is fucking phenomenal. It really is. It's phenomenal. But I mean, What's the Status has been posting stuff, and it's mind-boggling how they're able to get that render so fucking close to the actual person, and the likeness and the gear and the tats and like the whole shit. It's just it's really fucking impressive. It is really impressive. Well, this has been Pro Wrestling Summit WWE Weekly. Make sure that you reach out to us at good_villain_media. Hit us up on the comments. Like, share, subscribe with your friends. You already know what to do. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen to us today. Make sure that you tune in later on today for the Pro Wrestling Summit Clips portion, which is going to be available at noon Eastern Standard Time. Really appreciate your time again. Talk soon. Kiss, kiss. Bye.